No.
Hello and welcome back to RCE Gaming. I know it's been a while, but shut up. I'm here with a special guest, my friend, Mason.
We're here to talk to you about your car's extended warranty.
No, dude, that's not what we're here to talk about.
We're not?
No, we're here to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's!
Man.
Oh, there it goes. Well, I no longer have a special guest, guys. So in this video, I don't know if he's actually gonna come back. I hope he's back. Okay, so in this video, we're going to be doing a tier list of all the FNAF games as well. Just for fun, we added the movie in here because
movie.
we like movie. So our tiers here are S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, and D tier.
And what we did forget to add was movie tier.
No, we did not forget to add the movie tier.
I thought we were going to add a movie tier.
No, we're not going to add a movie tier. So basically how this is going to work, I have the trailers pulled up. We're going to talk over the trailer, talk about what we think of the game. And then we will come to a consensus on what tier it goes in. All links to the trailers will be in the description, obviously. I mean, that makes sense. So yeah. Don't worry, the trailers are muted, so you're not going to have to try and distinguish what we're saying. So, FNAF 1, the start of the franchise. What do you think of this game? Because personally, I think it's a really well-made entry. Especially for the first one. What do you think?
Kids are very crunchy.
Oh my god.
You gonna tell me I'm wrong?
No, you're not wrong, but...
Freddy can agree with me on that one.
Freddy can agree with you. What do you think gameplay-wise of this one?
It's a very simple concept. It's a simple idea, and it's the first iteration of that idea.
Yes.
So it makes a lot of sense, and just works.
Yeah, I mean,
It just works.
Out of all the games, when it comes to atmosphere, I definitely feel like this one has the best executed atmosphere.
Yes.
Like, still playing this one now, even though the jump scares don't scare me, the just overall atmosphere is still very, like, droning. It's very heavy in terms of atmosphere. Yes. And I think it's definitely a fantastic place to start off the franchise.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Is it best in the series? I don't believe so, but I definitely think it is very strong. Where do you think we put this one? Because I say top of A tier.
I was about to say A tier.
Yeah.
Now.
Next up,
the second one.
The second installment is one that I've had very mixed feelings on for a long time.
Same here. It's like, it's both good, bad, and...
It's a little ugly. In terms of character design...
Well, I know some of the characters are.
Well, yeah. Except for Toy... I'm just kidding. Oh,
Horny jail to you.
Burn. In terms of what... Oh, right. There's a whole quiet... There we go. In terms of character design, I definitely feel like this is a big step up from the first game. Yes. I mean, the Wither animatronics are still some of my favorite designs in the entire franchise.
Where they got the extra teeth, I don't know.
Are they different animatronics? Are they different? Are they the same ones? Just
Look, I still don't know.
We ain't talking about the lore here. We're talking about the games. But in terms of like this layout, map design, character design, I definitely feel like this is a big step up from the original.
Yes. Mechanics-wise,
I'm not a fan of it.
It's interesting.
It definitely had potential. But out of, what is it, 11, 12 characters in total, which for the technically 4 in the original is a huge jump. But in terms of gameplay, I definitely am not a fan of FNAF 2. It feels like the mask, I think...
The mask mechanic...
All the Wizards except Withered Foxy, and then all the toys are dealt with using the mask. And then Foxy is the flashlight.
It's just...
Yeah, you just have to use a flashlight. And then the puppet is... If you know how to manage the music box, then the puppet, you never see them. So that's my big problem with this game. is the mask is so overutilized.
I feel like this also underlies some issues for future games as well.
What do you mean by that? Just expand on that a bit.
The overusage of a single mechanic that can easily be abused.
Definitely.
I'm not gonna say which game yet because we haven't gotten there yet.
Yep.
But
I can definitely agree with that one. Overall, I don't hate this game. There is a game coming up that I think is way worse than this, so that kind of balances out this one.
yeah, it's not terrible.
No.
It's just not as good as the first one.
I definitely think Scott, he was trying to rush out these games to stay on top of the hype. So I definitely think this one deserved a little bit more time in the oven. Because it came out a little half-baked.
Yeah.
So, what do you think tier-wise it should be?
B or C tier.
I was feeling very high C tier. Because there's some very strong B tiers in this series. But I definitely think this is high C tier. Now, going on to one of my personal favorites. FNAF 3. I really enjoy FNAF 3.
That man is just a wee bit crispy.
He is a little cooked. Just slightly...
He is overcooked.
He is incredibly overcooked. In terms of character design, I think this is where the series peaked. Springtrap is...
This was probably his peak.
Yes. Springtrap is at its best in this game. And in terms of execution and character design, this is his absolute best iteration.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you cannot tell me Springtrap is not the best character design in this franchise. Because he doesn't have bone ears like Scraptrap, which we'll get to that soon. But
I don't know how you managed to... I don't know how being burnt gives you
bone ears.
But that is such a weird word. Why do you use that?
Because he actually has bone ears.
Yes, it's accurate, but
but yeah, gameplay wise, this one's pretty good. Is this what you were referring to with the overutilization of one mechanic?
no.
Okay.
This one's a lot later in the series, but
Oh.
what I'm thinking of.
In terms of the audio, like the audio lore, I definitely think that is...
What audio? It's muted.
It is muted. But in the game, whenever it comes down to like the audio lore, I definitely think that's a very good mechanic.
Yeah.
Because it isn't foolproof. In FNAF 2, the mask is basically your end-all be-all. As long as you get it on in time, it wins every time. With the audio, Springtrap doesn't always listen. He's very selective with his hearing.
Bro is like, I don't have time for you.
No. I need to get to that night guard immediately. I ain't got time for the kids. Also, it's very disturbing that you lure him using the laughs of children.
Well,
Because
he really doesn't like paying his child support.
it's very
I can
subtle.
guarantee you that.
It's very subtle, like, storytelling that he immediately goes to where the kids are. Because it's both the animatronics programming and the guy's truck inside. Because he's gonna go kill those kids. And it's all around, I think this has the second best atmosphere in the series.
Probably.
Like, the only thing that's very goofy about this game is Springtrap running across the window, just... I guess...
Flintlock Wood! Flintlock Wood!
I guess while we're at it, we should also touch on the Phantoms. I think those definitely help spice up the gameplay loop.
They do. Though, it does feel a little weird that you can't... Well, it makes sense that you can't die from them.
Mm-hmm.
But you will black out.
Yeah. Which, the blacking out is another interesting mechanic, because it opens up Springtrap to do probably my favorite mechanic of his, which not a lot of people actually know about, is you can hallucinate a second Springtrap.
Oh, I do forget about that.
So
yeah,
that's why you could have Springtrap in Cam 10, and then all of a sudden, he's at your window. Because you're hallucinating another Springtrap, and I think that is a very, very cool mechanic that I wish they had brought back for another game.
That would have probably could have been in the Ruin DLC.
Definitely. I have a lot to say about Ruin whenever we get there. But
We have a couple games to get through, though.
we have quite a few games to get through. All around, I mean, I don't think this one is as strong as the first game.
No.
But it's definitely a big step up from the second.
Yes.
So I think it is very safe for this to be our first B tier. Do you agree?
B tier, maybe low A.
Okay, we can play around with the rankings later on, but I think for now I'm very comfortable sitting this in
Now,
B tier.
this one.
FNAF 4. I'll let you start off on this one.
Five Nights at Fredbear's the 4th. Wow.
Yeah.
This is a new approach in a completely different environment. Was it the best way to do it? Probably not.
I agree.
Though I do admit, for what it is, it's pretty good.
Yes. I think this was the first time that the character designs kind of started to take a hit.
Yeah.
Because...
I mean, yes, they are nightmare beings, but...
like, they work.
They work
In the
for the setting they are in.
In the concept of the game, it works.
Them being applied anywhere else.
They do not work. Like, I mean... yes, it is absolutely terrifying seeing that thing jump out at you out of the dark. I will give it that. But if you put this thing... I've seen, like, modded gameplay of them in, like, FNAF 1. They do not work in the slightest.
No.
And
also, in Help Wanted, they kind of are out of place.
Yes. Anytime they are outside of, like... outside of the Nightmare Fredbear, this is the only time I'll touch on Help Wanted until we get there, but outside of the Nightmare Fredbear level and Night Terrors, they feel awkwardly placed. Like, they didn't really know what to do with them, so they kind of just threw them somewhere.
Yeah.
We can also, gameplay-wise, I'll say this before we touch on anything else. Gameplay-wise, I think this is the first time the gameplay loop became a little bit too repetitive.
Yeah.
Between this and FNAF 2, I think those are the two games where the gameplay loop really started to drag on by Night 3.
Yeah.
Because the entire thing of this game is you're at the door staring out into the darkness, just listening. Which, I mean...
for a very small audio cue.
Yes. And I definitely think that's this game's biggest flaw, is the audio cues. One, are not explained very well. So you don't really know what you're looking for, which... being a game that's very big on, like, game playthroughs, yeah. And, I mean, it's good to watch someone play it and be like, they got jump scared again. But on a gameplay level, it's very difficult to, one, learn what you're looking for, and two, because it's so subtle, you have to crank your volume way up, which is a little annoying whenever it comes down to how loud the jump scares are. Because, I mean, I've heard my ears bad playing this game. I mean, I use these headphones for gaming, and these things are loud. So you hear, it makes the audio cue very audible, and the jump scares are way too loud.
Far too loud.
In terms of the big twist, I don't care about spoilers. The game has been out for 8 years. If you don't know what happened in the game, you're an idiot. Why are you watching this?
And then you
deserve to have it spoiled.
Like, this game came out way too long ago.
Pause the video, go watch Markiplier play through it. It's like, each episode's like 15 minutes. There's like 8 episodes. Go watch it.
You have time.
Yeah. This video will be up forever, pretty much.
Who said that?
I did. Because this is the internet and nothing ever disappears. Just look at Verbalace. He wished that Has Been Hotel video would disappear.
No. Well.
The big Night 5 twist with Nightmare Fredbear is cool. I think that's one of the game's biggest strengths, is it just switches up like that. And then isn't it Night 6 where Nightmare shows up, or is that Night 7?
I do not know.
I think it's Night 6 or 7 that Nightmare shows up. Is it a little lame that he's just a Nightmare Fredbear recolor? Yes, but still.
What color? He's clear.
Yeah, he is that kind of like that cool blackish clear color. In terms of just being able To play it, yeah, it's a neat play game, but this is where the series really dove into the watch someone play through it for the first time aspect. I definitely feel like this is a step up from FNAF 2, but I'd put it below FNAF 3.
Low B tier, I'd say.
I can agree with that. Okay.
Now we get to
next up,
5 Nights at Freddy's World.
FNAF World. Personally, I really like this game.
It's an RPG. It's really funny.
It's dumb fun, and like look,
It's so stupid it works.
This is the first game on this tier list that I can say has really good replay value.
It does.
Like, I'm doing a playthrough of it on my channel now. That I need to get back to. So, see, take this as me getting back into that game. Gameplay wise, very fun. Is it mind-numbingly stupid?
Yes.
Yes. But it's one of those games that you either love it or you hate it, and I really, really love it. The way Scott took these really, really well-made, scary character designs and turned them into these kind of
Chibis.
These chibi characters is very, very good. Gameplay-wise, yeah, it's fun. I'm gonna try and speed through this one, because
there's not too much to talk about.
Yeah. So, do you have anything else to say about it?
Not really.
Okay.
Just, it's there. It's honestly pretty fun. I'd say give it like a decent A tier.
Yeah, I definitely say this is bottom of A tier. This one. I'm gonna say this right off the bat. This is my least favorite game in the entire franchise, and my least favorite game I've ever played.
Can I ask why?
Everything is scripted.
True.
Like, and that's something I'll bring up with Ruin as well. This is not just me hating on this location for no reason. This is another reason why I'm also not a huge fan of Ruin. But in terms of character design, I like it. Character design wise, this is one of the best games. Innard is such a fantastic character design. Funtime Freddy is one of my favorite characters in the franchise. Just talking outside the game, the fan songs that came from this one and the fan content, fantastic. Probably the peak of the franchise.
It's just...
But the game itself is so boring. First playthrough wise, fun. It's really good for a first playthrough.
Replay
and
value?
Then you replay it and you find out that every last second of this game is scripted. The vent scare on the first night, scripted. Nothing changes. You could sit there for hours and nothing will happen. Of course, the dialogue is scripted, but like Funtime Freddy section, Ballora talking to you and not appearing on the way back from the break room is scripted. Funtime Foxy jump scaring you on your way out of parts and service is scripted. The entire ending of the game is scripted. It's just, there's no replay value. I don't feel like it has any like major redeeming qualities. It was the biggest step away from the main gameplay loop in the entire franchise. And I definitely feel like, while there was a good idea behind it, I love these point-and-click style adventure games. It really dropped the ball in terms of the gameplay loop. All of the nights are super boring. The Biddy Bab section is just like, it's fine. Funtime Freddy Break Room, that's probably the best part of the game. The Ballora Gallery is super frustrating to get through. And also, you learn that is also scripted. Ballora goes in front of your face and like really close to you every single time you play. So by the time you play it like second or third time, you know exactly what's gonna happen. The mini arena scooping room section is still my least favorite part of any FNAF game ever. I hate that part. The secret final night, I mean, it's fine. But in terms of a FNAF gameplay loop, it's up against one animatronic. There's nothing really special about it. The custom night, however, was really good. I really like the custom night. But I've been talking for a while. What do you... I want to get your opinion on it as well.
Good first gameplay, bad replayability.
Yes.
That's all there really is to it.
And I mean, these games have never been known for replay value, but this one is a new low.
Yeah.
And so I am comfortable putting this in D tier. And that's the only game that's going to go in D tier.
Put it in the movie tier. Movie tier 1.
And now, for a game that I actually really
game.
A really game. FNAF 6 Pizzeria Simulator.
It is one of the games of all time.
Yes. Gameplay wise, it's all right.
I did like the new aspects that it does, where you have this is the one where you have certain tasks to do, and you can't like just wait out the night. You have to finish your tasks.
Yes, definitely. I couldn't find an official gameplay trailer for this one, so we're gonna have to do this one. It's by Mr. Wumpa. I'll have a link to him in the description. If this is the only FNAF game that doesn't have a actual trailer, so this one's gonna have to do. But yes, I definitely agree with what you say. I like the way this one is set up. It's a nice spin on the original gameplay loop that keeps it intact, but while also expanding on it in a really, really nice way.
This is the redemption arc. This is how you get the good stuff.
Yes. This feels like a mix between FNAF 3 and with the audio lures and like a bunch of different games previously. That is really, really nice to play, and it's really fun. Tycoon sections are interesting. It's an interesting addition to the gameplay. I really, really, really like the salvage minigames. Those are really, really fun. I do think the one section of this game where it struggles is the jump scares.
Yeah.
Because, like, they just aren't great.
They are not, in fact, peak.
No. But character designs in this one, for the most part, are really, really good.
Except for one.
And I have a love-hate relationship with that one. And I think we both know who we're talking about.
William Afton.
Yeah, William Afton, or Scrap Trap, or whatever you want to call him.
Helpy.
Yes, or Helpy. We know the main antagonist of the series, Helpy.
The true villain.
A true enemy of the entire franchise. I do like Scrap Trap. Mainly just in an ironic sense. I think he's absolutely hilarious. Like, this guy, you cannot take him seriously in any other section but the salvage minigame.
Because he looks so stupid.
He looks so freaking goofy. With his... Look, it's common knowledge that Scott Cawthon cannot make good human character designs. And this is just showing it off in full display.
This is why.
Moving on to something that we can both agree is the peak of the entire franchise. This ending. That ending monologue with Henry is just fantastic. Where he says,
"It's Henry time," and Henry's all over the place.
He is Henrying all over the place.
Henrying.
I definitely feel like the ending of this game is the peak of the entire franchise.
It should have ended there.
As much as I love some of the games coming up, this should have been the ending of the franchise. It had everything laid out.
Imagine the rest of it is just a hallucination from the smoke.
God, I wish. I hope.
That would be so funny. That would be hilarious.
The only time I ever want this to be like it's all a dream is that. That ending monologue is just like I still get chills listening to it every single time, and it is so powerful. Outside of that, nothing really else much to say about this game. The lore in it, stupid confusing. My gosh, the Midnight Motorist, all of that, still so bumfumbling.
And we have Mustard Colored Man.
Mustard Man now, like, how many different colors are there now? It's getting ridiculous. But I would honestly have to say I'm comfortable putting this in A tier. A very, very high
This might
A
even
tier.
be an S tier.
If you want to put an S tier, I will agree with
S tier.
Yeah.
I'd say S tier.
I definitely agree with that. I love FNAF Pizzeria Simulator. Yeah. Heading on to one of what I believe to be the strongest games in the franchise. This is Help Wanted. The FNAF VR Help Wanted, the original.
No, this is Five Nights at Freddy's 7. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, FNAF 7, sorry. This game is fantastic.
This game is really good. I like it.
Like, coming from the first game that Steelwood produced for the franchise, and they knocked it out of the ballpark.
They did.
Like, in terms of atmosphere, they captured the original games so well, apart from FNAF 4.
Yeah.
That's the only game where they didn't really capture it, but we can talk about it after we go through the others. FNAF 1 is such a faithful recreation. FNAF 2 is genius, outside of the fact the Wizards were not in it from the start.
Yeah.
Which is such a weird character, or such a weird design choice. But I am glad we got them in a later update. FNAF 3, while the Springtrap model isn't great,
It's still pretty good.
It still captures the atmosphere really well.
Yeah.
FNAF 4, I'm still so confused why we got Funtime Freddy, Nightmare Eon, Circus Baby, and Nightmare Fredbear. Why couldn't we just have FNAF 4? It's so...
Wasn't it like also Circus Baby?
Yeah, Circus Baby was the third one, and you were in like the closet for some reason.
Why are you in the closet? I don't know.
Great
Maybe
question.
Because she wants to sex you? Maybe. I don't know.
Who knows? But,
She better make a second one of those Has-Been Hotel video.
oh my gosh. I need to find 50K.
50K. 247K.
Parts and service, probably the best part of the game.
Probably, yeah.
Like, it really goes to show just how ginormous these animatronics are.
Because, yeah, they are massive.
Like,
you do not realize how big they are until then.
Until you're, like, standing in VR and you are... Even when Bonnie is sitting down, you're still, like, to his neck. And it is... He is huge. Vent repair, another highlight.
Oh, yeah.
Like, vent repair is really well done. Curse of Dreadbear, that's a really good DLC. It's very fun, very enjoyable. Between the two Help Wanted games, I think this is the scarier one. This one is definitely scarier.
Probably. And decent lore, too.
Yes. As much as I think Afton should have been dead in FNAF 6, I like the way they soft rebooted him here. With the kind of computer virus version of him.
With the, hey there.
With the, hey.
You want some candy?
That is literally the vibes he gives off. Yeah, do you have anything to add?
Peak.
I think that, yeah, I would definitely be okay putting this in top of S tier.
Oh, yeah.
Like, from a gameplay standpoint, everything down to it, it encapsulates all of these games really, really well. And you can make a strong argument that this is still the best in the franchise. We never forgot a game. It was always here, right?
Yeah, it was just a visual glitch, man.
Yeah, visual bug.
That's all.
Yep.
Ultimate Custom Night, the B tier.
Yeah, I'd say B tier. I'd put it below FNAF 4.
Really?
I think so, because, I mean, all the characters have their own unique mechanics, for the most part. I definitely feel like the jump scares really let it down. They're just kind of like... They really just vibrate at you.
There you go.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if one of them, like, hits whooping, like, Nene.
Whoopin'?
That's the Gangnam Style or something.
Wait for them to play Gangnam Style.
For real. But yeah, let's go on to the most polarizing game in the franchise. FNAF Security Breach. Personally, I think this is a fantastic game.
It's a fantastic game. lore-wise.
No. I have to... I think this is the first one we strongly disagree on. I would say this is a fantastic game gameplay-wise, but a terrible game lore-wise.
Wasn't the gameplay, like, really bad, though?
This is the only game in the franchise that I actively want to go replay, though.
Why?
Mainly because it has so many different variations of the gameplay loop. Like, I really enjoy the Indo section. And also, this is, I think, the only game that actually strives by how broken it is. Like, it is so much fun to find new and creative ways to break the game, to glitch the gameplay loop, to fall out of bounds. It's really, really entertaining to do. Map design, I think this is probably one of the best in the franchise. Just because the Pizzaplex is so massive. It's such a good game to explore, to run around in. And I mean, I think this is one of the most replayable games in the franchise because there's so much variation. The animatronics are free roaming, so there's always new encounters with them. I just think it's fun. What do you think?
I will agree that it's fun to find new ways to break the game. However, they could have done so much better with it.
They could.
They could have done so much better.
Based on what's on screen, they could have done so much better with Vanny.
Yeah, she shows up like, what, twice?
2 or 3 times. Because there's the one after Lost and Found. There's the one random one in the Chica dumpster, like before the post-it note room. Oh, I forgot to loop the video.
Whoops.
There's the one in the there. There's the one completely random one in the underground Chica dumpster area, and then there's one in Phaser Blast, which is completely out of nowhere.
When you blast the phaser or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I never played the game. I did actually. I love the character designs. They're some of the more enjoyable ones to just look at visually. I love the shattered designs. I just really think a lot of the parts of this game are very strong, but also the weak points are really weak.
Yeah.
Also, I think this game, I said this before, but I want to elaborate on it more. I think this game strives on being broken. Because if it released in a bugless state, with the content in the game as it was at release, no one would talk about this game if it wasn't a buggy mess. It would have died so quick, and it would not have had nearly as much staying power. Because it would constantly be talked about because there would be new bugs or new speedrun tactics. I remember at one point you could beat this game in 5 minutes.
I think, yeah.
Which, I mean, it was great to watch, especially like Markiplier or like backseat streams. The first playthrough as they just get more and more bugs and glitches. I think there was like a 45-minute video someone made that was just a compilation of Markiplier losing his mind at the bugs that he encountered in his playthrough. All around, I just think this is a very enjoyable game to play.
Yes.
Is it nearly as strong as some of the others?
No.
No. But I find more enjoyment playing this one.
I'd say, in terms of tier, probably like good B tier.
Yeah, I'd say
mid B.
Yeah, I think it's higher than FNAF 4, but I don't think it's as strong as FNAF 3. Character design wise, FNAF 3 is way stronger. Gameplay loop, FNAF 3 is stronger. But when it comes down to replayability, I definitely go with Security Breach. Okay.
This one.
This is a tough one to talk about.
Yeah, because it's definitely already better than Security Breach. Base game.
Yes.
It is better.
It definitely is better on an atmosphere.
But the only reason people like it more is because of how bad Security Breach was.
Yes, people have like this hatred of Security Breach. No matter what they came out with afterwards, it would be seen as better. And honestly, I am not a fan of this one. Not really. Is it better than Security Breach? Yes, that is a definite. But I think it feels a lot less replayable, and
Probably.
that's where Security Breach strived, is it was super replayable. This one, just like Sister Location, it is scripted out the wazoo.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's funny, the only times you seriously encounter the animatronics is in fully scripted segments. Like, Monty Golf, you see him run across, some boxes. Then after you do the node puzzle, before you open the door to get out of that area, he runs at you, and it's all cutscene. There's the water segment, which, I mean, is fine, but it lasts not super long. Chica is all cutscenes.
Oh yeah.
Like, Chica is entirely cutscene based. Design wise, these ruin designs are fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Like, Chica's ruin design is so, like, gross and grimy, with, like, the melted cheese and all that. It's very gross, and I think it is really good for that matter.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I like the designs. The gameplay was alright. I did like the ending. The ending was a bit of a odd one.
It felt rushed.
It felt rushed, but it was not bad.
No.
It wasn't bad at all. I'd say this one high B or maybe even low A.
Yeah. I would like to touch on the ending. It did feel very, very rushed with, I guess this game is newer. I mean, it's almost a year old now.
Wow.
Yeah, that's weird to think about.
I don't like that.
Slight spoiler warning, I guess.
It's a year old.
Yeah, I mean, still, it's your fault if you haven't seen it yet. The Mimic felt very weird. It felt...
Just an odd placement.
Yes, he definitely felt... It felt very backpedaling.
Yeah.
Like, I would have... As much as I think Afton should have died in FNAF 6, it would have felt better if they had stuck with it. And, like, maybe, I don't know, made him more of a prominent threat. I think that would have felt a little bit nicer. But the Mimic just kind of was there.
Yeah.
He
kind of just shows up randomly.
Like, right in probably I'd say, like, the last 3 minutes of gameplay.
Probably a little more than that. Maybe like 6.
No, because he shows up in that cutscene. Then it's the final chase. And then you go into the elevator and it's over. So yeah, he's like right at the ending. Outside of that, they does follow a very similar formula to Security Breach in a weird way, where each of the animatronics has their own segment.
Yeah.
But they are much shorter in terms of gameplay.
However, I think in terms of gameplay, they are better.
I think the only one that's weaker in terms of gameplay is the daycare.
Really?
The daycare segment is... Because, at least in Security Breach, Moon was a threat.
Yeah.
In Ruin, he doesn't do anything.
He just stands there.
Yeah, he stands up at the top and, like, Moon's like, ah, turn off the lights, turn off the lights. And Sun's like, no, keep going, turn on the lights. And he's just kind of on top of that main one. That's one thing I will say. At no point do the animatronics feel threatening.
No, not really.
Like, at least in the first, I'd say, 4 games, or even, heck, I'd say even up to Security Breach, and maybe even Security Breach, the animatronics felt threatening.
Well, Security Breach not so much.
Like, that one's a little bit more iffy, but, like, FNAF 1 to 6, like, mainline, not counting FNAF World, the animatronics felt very threatening. They felt like they were there. They were
are
there.
a threat. They are a problem.
Mm-hmm. In this one, they are
There.
They
You just happen to be crossing their path.
yes, and like you don't want to be there, they don't want you to be there, and you're kind of just in this weird limbo state. It's like, okay, there's Chica again. Oh, she got crushed by some metal blocks. Okay,
Cool, I guess.
all right, let's move on.
Anyways.
Yeah, and the last thing I want to touch on with this game is Mexus, which is a big waste of a mechanic. Because, like, he's supposed to call in the animatronics, but, like, he just kind of spawns them in if you're in the mask for way, way too long. Because, like, he can be there and you just walk away from him and he doesn't do anything. He just kind of stands there like, hi. And then...
when a good thing goes bad.
Yeah, is this game perfect?
No.
No. Is it better than Security Breach?
Yes.
Yes.
I'd say low A, maybe high B.
I'd put it in low A. I think in terms of atmosphere, it's better than FNAF World, but I'd much rather play FNAF World. Next up, going on to a game that is actually really nice.
I do actually like this one.
FNAF A Help Wanted 2 is a big step up in quality from Ruin. And I mean, I think it's also a step up in most regards from Help Wanted 1.
Yeah.
While there isn't as many scary gameplay or like game modes, the ones they have are really scary.
Oh yeah.
Like, which one am I thinking of? I really, really liked, the Breaker Room with Funtime Freddy. That one was super, super tense. Carousel with Moon was really good. The DJ Music Man one was actually one of the best.
The memory match was also pretty funny.
Yes. Like, that one was super scary. DJ Music Man looks like giant. He is massive. Yeah, I really like the FNAF 6 ones though. Those ones are a really big highlight. Yeah. I'll let you take the lead on this one.
Good game.
It is.
Better than Security Breach, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Probably better than Ruin 2. Is it as good as Hell 1? Really, that's up to opinion.
Yeah, that's debatable. I would say because of
Depends on
yeah,
which one you... Depends on what kind of mechanics you like better.
mm-hmm. This one feels a lot more of its own.
Yeah, it's like, if you want to, like, play the original games in VR, Help 1,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to have more variety in the mechanics,
Then Help
Then
Wanted
this
2. So honestly, I'd say this game deserves a high A or a high S.
yeah.
Like, this and Help Wanted 1 are without question the two best games in the franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think FNAF strives and is at its best in VR.
Oh, yeah.
I'd say putting it here, these two are very interchangeable though. Like,
Yeah, that
some
is entirely
people-
based on opinion.
some people will have them the other way. Which way do you think?
I say the way you have it now.
Okay, yeah. I can agree with that.
And finally, the movie.
Yes. So the movie is here mainly just because it'll be fun to talk about.
The movie is, it belongs in movie tier.
I mean, okay. While it's difficult to rank it up against these, this is more so just a general tier ranking.
Where's the movie tier?
No.
Where's your movie tier?
No. The movie was fine.
The movie, it felt nice. It
Yes.
felt nice to watch.
Like,
I'm just saying, when are they gonna add that in Universal Studios?
I'm still waiting for, like, Hollywood Horror Nights. And I'm hoping they have a FNAF house, because that would be really cool. That's the only way I'll go to another scare event
Eh.
because I hate scare events so much. Give me such bad anxiety. Yeah, I mean, was it a fantastic movie? No.
No.
I wouldn't say it was really even close to being a masterpiece.
No, but it's still a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, for the source material they had in transferring Five Nights at Freddy's into a movie, it was good.
Yeah.
Was it very kid friendly and very family oriented? Definitely,
bit.
yes. But it still definitely had its moments. I really like the inclusion of Spring Bonnie at the end. That was really good.
This scene?
Yes, the bite scene was really good.
Was that the bite of 87?
Was that the bite of 23? I definitely think the movie peaked either with the break-in scene with the like the tomfoolers, or the people that Aunt Jane hired,
The dead people.
or with the Foxy chase, like where Abby was hiding from Foxy. That was probably the two best moments of the film.
Yeah.
Casting wise, I think
It's pretty good.
I definitely think they did a very good job casting the actors.
It would have been funny if they managed to get Chris Pratt to do something.
Oh my gosh, if Chris Pratt was the main character, that would be
Chris Pratt as Springtrap.
Chris Pratt as William Afton would be hilarious.
That would be so funny.
Oh my gosh. I think the only character in this film that I really dislike is Vanessa. Because she is just there as Lord Dump.
Yep.
And I mean, she feels very
Bland.
wishy-washy. She's just there to
She feels
keep
bland.
the plot moving, yeah. Josh Hutcherson as Michael was a very likable main character.
Yes.
Like, definitely the star player in this film is Josh Hutcherson. Animatronics look freaking fantastic.
They look a little odd.
Oh god, I'm getting a call. Hold on. Okay, well, back to this. Here, what did you like about the movie? Just kind of general things.
I like the part where they say it's Freddy time, and Freddy's all over the place.
Freddy's all over the place. That was a crazy scene.
Yep. Peak, absolute peak.
I loved it when all of the animatronics got together in a circle and held hands and said, "We may be up against the spring trap, but together we are Five Nights at Freddy's." And then they summoned William Afton's long lost cousin Matt Pat, and then they got into a mega awesome battle scene. That was crazy.
Destroys the entire place.
And the entire world as well. Like it just blew up.
It's just this place left.
Yeah, it's just like a floating rock in space at this point.
And the characters live happily ever after.
Yep, they all hold hands and sing. They all sing "Kumbaya." But yeah,
honestly though, it's pretty.
Yeah, I mean, are we biased? Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe a bit, but like,
Are we biased? Wouldn't you like to know what, boy?
I mean, it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's a fine film. I hope they make the second one better.
Yeah.
I
am slightly afraid that it's not gonna be good.
Yes, because I mean they're already in production of the second film, which, seeing how long this one took for them to be already making the second one, makes me a little nervous. Because I mean, the public already, like, critics already hated this film. Yeah, it had like a 27 on Rotten Tomato. 27%.
What was the community one?
It was like low 80.
Okay, that's
Which, I mean, like,
that's not bad.
It's not bad at all. My unpopular opinion, because I haven't had enough of those in this video, this movie struggled with its screenplay because Scott Cawthon wrote it.
Explain.
So, we all know that Scott Cawthon, he writes based on whim feeling. He just kind of, he goes. Whenever he gets an idea, he just was like, let's do it. And you can see that with the sound illusion disc in FNAF sister location and in the books. But yeah, he's very contrived when it comes to writing. It's very similar to how I feel about Bivsy Pop. Like they come up with cool narratives. Like that's one, I know it's a weird comparison, but like Hazbin Hotel and this movie, they both have really cool ideas behind the narrative. But because they both write just based on a whim and they throw whatever they feel like into the script, it feels like there's a lot of weird little like one-offs in there. Like a good example is Aunt Jane in this film. Trying to get Abby for the child support
money, I believe,
bill or whatever. That feels like such weird like characterization.
She looks very rich already.
Yeah,
so, what does she need it for?
I feel like it would make it feel better if like she was just genuinely concerned for Abby. Because then, like, okay, you can get behind this, but you can make her actions, like, look, she's hard to believe.
Yeah.
It feels like this movie has a very big tonal, like, whiplash, because you have this very, like, cartoony, twirl the mustache villain with her, like, with Aunt Jane hiring these people. But then you also have, like, this supposed to be very somber story
First
with
I raised your brother,
now I raised you, skibbity my friend. You have this very somber story with Mike trying to find out what happened to his brother, but also that feels so disconnected to what's happening at Freddy's, because like how do the Freddy's kids know his brother other than it being vaguely connected through William Afton?
Well, even William Afton says that he knows his brother, so...
Yeah, but, like, there's a lot of weird, like, of course, you're gonna have to suspend your disbelief. It's dead kids controlling weird animatronics in a haunted pizzeria with a creepy dude in a yellow suit. Like, it's fine, that's Freddy's. You're gonna have to suspend some disbelief. But also, there's a lot of really big logical jumps. Like, Golden Freddy... Why are you taking... Golden Freddy can teleport. Why is he taking a taxi?
Because the kid can't teleport.
It's like... I don't know.
Also, wait, how did they pay for the taxi?
Yeah, exactly.
How did they pay for the taxi?
Like...
Did Golden Freddy just pass him a couple of $20 bills or something?
Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to take this film seriously, if the film wants to take itself seriously. There's so many different, like, emotions in it, but none of them connect. And like, look, it's a fun film, but it's not great.
I'd give it probably somewhere in between a B and an A. Honestly, B.
I'd say high B.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's a great film. Really, I mean, it's great to see it actually be produced and on the screen.
It actually happen.
But also, there is a lot of room for improvement in the sequel.
Yes.
And we already know it's going to have a sequel. We already know it's going to have a third installment in the film.
A threequel, and then it's going to have a threesome.
And then we're going to have the terrifying reboot that doesn't actually reboot the franchise and just continues the story in some stupid way. And then eventually we're going to have like 16 films that's going to be the next Fast and Furious.
And then it's going to be the next Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, like... But, yeah, I mean, the film is good. It's... Overall, I mean...
I like it.
Yeah. Here are anything you feel like you want to swap around in here?
No.
I'm
tired.
I'm very confident in this list.
Alright.
Yeah. So S tier is the Help Wanted and Pizzeria Simulator. A tier is first FNAF game, World and Ruin. B tier is the movie, third game, Security Breach, fourth, and Ultimate Custom Night. C tier is FNAF 2, and D tier is Sister Location. If you disagree, good for you. We're correct.
Objectively, objection, Your Honor. Nuh-uh.
Objection, your opinion is invalid because you're not us, and we're just the coolest.
Objection, Your Honor. My client pleads oopsie daisies.
Your Honor, my client says no balls on God.
Skippity Toilet, he rizzed him up.
He yachted in Ohio on God.
On God, he may just be him.
He is him. He has not missed a mewing session. He is mewed every day for the past 6 years.
What if I just...
Okay, well, before this gets any stupider, yeah. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like.
Well, then I need to hurry.
Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.
Climate change.